An arrest is made in a deadly Perry County shooting. We'll have more reaction coming from the Chavez community coming up next.
Teachers call in sick and head to Frankfort to protest House Bill 525. We'll dive into what's in the bill and why teachers oppose it.
Rain chances and maybe some snow chances. We'll break down what you can expect over the next few days, now at 6.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 6.
A night of unrest turns into a morning of clarity for people in Perry County. Around 7:30 this morning, police arrested this man, James McIntosh. Deputies say he is the man who murdered Danny Mullins yesterday. Investigators found Mullins along the side of Four Seam Branch Road. WYMT's Taylor Upchurch has reaction from the Chavez community where Mullins grew up.
Grieving a life lost.
Whenever I hear anything of this nature where one human being has taken the life of the other, it's always very saddening.
Called to the Glomar community on Wednesday afternoon, police say James McIntosh shot Danny Mullins 6 times.
We located that person of interest at his place of employment, Wayne Supply and Hazard.
Mullins was arrested Thursday morning. Officials do not suspect a random act of violence, robbery, theft, or that drugs played a part, but say these men were not strangers.
I think it's safe to say they did know each other.
The motive is still unknown. Now family and friends are left with pain and confusion.
Danny's father is our patient, and I know will be probably going through a very rough time, and just my heart goes out to them.
Police say there is heartbreak for every person involved, and the truth will be brought to light.
And we'll work very hard to make sure all the facts for both sides to be brought forward so the truth can come out.
Thinking of each family affected. In Perry County, Taylor Upchurch, WYMT Mountain News.
James McIntosh is charged with 1 count of murder and tampering with evidence. Crews airlifted a woman following an assault in Laurel County. Deputies say they found her with trauma to her head and face. Investigators say they arrested Michael Ray Cornett for the alleged crime. He faces drug and first-degree assault charges. The woman was sent to the University of Kentucky Hospital. Arraignment for a Pike County man deemed the traveling bandit will appear in court March 12th. The case is being tried in federal court in southern Florida. Here's the man federal agents arrested. His name is Jason Lee Robinson. Police say he robbed 7 banks in multiple states, including one in Miami. They caught him in Colorado. Robinson does have a history of bank robberies. Today we learned a new trial date in a high-profile Whitley County murder case. Courtney Taylor's trial will begin in March of next year. She's accused of killing her daughters and husband. This morning, a judge ruled her competent to stand trial. Her first trial date was delayed last year. That's teachers taking a firm stance today in Frankfort. Several school districts canceled classes. This time, teachers protested House Bill 525. It would change up the Board of Trustees for the teachers' retirement system. The only school district to close here in eastern Kentucky was in Letcher County. They wanted lawmakers to vote no on the bill. We have team coverage on the protest and where the bill stands. Hillary Thornton begins that.
Well, it's very disappointing that the misinformation that's being peddled out.
That is what Representative Ken Upchurch is saying about the backlash his House Bill 525 is receiving. But others argue it is, quote, a solution looking for a problem.
75 plus years, this process has benefited the pensioners to the TRS system, and I will stand by that till my last dying breath.
Stephanie Winkler, president of the organization the bill's sponsor says has too much control, currently controlling 7 of the 11 seats on the Teachers Retirement System Board.
It's the only board that we are aware of in the state that a private organization has operational control.
The bill would reorganize the nominating and election process for the positions. A big concern with this bill by those opposing it is that part of it would give a seat to a CPA appointed by the governor. Now, some lawmakers inside of this committee meeting not accusing the sponsor of this, but questioning the actual motive behind this bill.
My concerns is that we are legislating by which to be vindictive for actions which were taken last year.
You are doing what is most uncomfortable to elected officials, which is having to really see the full impact of organized educators showing up.
The bill ultimately passing the vote. The bill sponsors and its supporters happy to see that it will continue making its way through the legislative process.
We're going to begin the hearing from different folks about their concerns with it, and that's the process, and we're happy to do that.
Hillary Thornton, WYMT Mountain News.
The bill will now go to the House for a vote. No word on when that will happen. Thousands of students missed a day of school across the Bluegrass as their teachers made their way to Frankfort. The teachers tell us ultimately this is about the students. Caitlin Sentner talked to several about why they chose to take a stand.
Our pistols are number 2, but our students are number 1.
Saying they're fighting for themselves, but ultimately fighting for their students. A teachers group calls for a sick-out protesting House Bill 525.
There is an inconvenience, but I feel like if we don't stand up for the teachers that we have, the quality teachers, that they're going to lose quality teachers, and then I feel like down the road, the students will be worse off.
Some teachers not fond of 525 because it seeks to change some spots on the Board of Trustees, which decides their teacher pensions.
No 525! No 525!
Teachers walking away Thursday disappointed are figuring out what happens next.
No 525!
I know this is probably going to be heard again tomorrow, and they're going to be looking at making some amendments. And I think we just need to be very vigilant because of what happened last year with the sewage bill. When you wait till the last minute, they end up breaking the rules and not following procedures.
Representative Graham said it best. It's a vindictive bill, a play from last year. They're trying to take a 75-year-old board and a board that has been successful with large percentages lately in the last couple of years, and they're trying to fix something that's not broken. And that's what it is. You're trying to change something that doesn't need to be changed.
There's the potential for another sick out tomorrow. From the state capitol, Caitlin Sentner, WYMT Mountain News.
Now, here is a recap of the main headlines from this debate. Currently, the KEA has majority control over the Teachers Retirement System board members. House Bill 525 strips them of that, while it increases the total number of board members from 11 to 13. KEA would only nominate 2 members opposed to the 7 currently. The governor would also gain an appointee. Kentucky lawmakers gave final approval to a school safety bill that KEA endorsed. The bill now heads to Governor Bevin's desk. The measure sets new goals of putting police officers in every school and having at least 1 counselor for every 250 students. The legislation comes with no money, though, so school districts will not be able to comply right away.
Well, it is a soggy day for some. Others have not seen the rain, but you still have chances as we head into the evening and overnight hours. Let's take a look at Interstate 64. Right now, 34 degrees, rain falling, and even some scattered activity now with the National Weather Service with 39 degrees and temperatures falling fast as that cold air tries to work in. Now, I don't think it makes its way all the way to southern Kentucky as in the 30s, but we will see the 40s down there tonight. Notice still the 50s in Bell County, 54 in Harlan County, and 34, 20 degrees cooler as you work up to the north. Of course, that rain work again harder to the north, more scattered activity across the Cumberland Valley, and over the past hour it continues to track to the east-northeast. See, we'll have a full look at how long this could stick around or what we can expect for that weekend coming up in a few short minutes.
All right, thank you, Andrew. To say we have a few road issues across the region is an understatement. Breaks, slides, and other issues caused and amplified by this year's weather have taken their toll across eastern Kentucky. Many people are being rerouted and others do not have a way to be rerouted. WYMT's Connor James takes us to a handful of breaks throughout Perry County.
It's bad.
Oh, yes.
A scenic drive.
Well, we're losing part of it right here.
This is only one of the many issues around Sam Campbell Branch near Crifton. Bobby Brown made makeshift markings and cones.
Yeah, well, you can see I marked it for them.
They've had problems before.
Well, we've been flooded in before, but this looks like a long time affair.
And he's not the only one living on the other side.
Oh, there's probably 100 or more.
Across the county, another road, Kentucky 267.
Pretty scary, yeah.
Has been shut down indefinitely.
It'll make your heart skip a beat, that's for sure.
The road collapsing.
The road, dirt, no, it's like you would drop, like a roller coaster, and you don't know how far you're going to go to the bottom.
Causing people like Billy Combs
good 30 miles out of the way
to look for a different route.
Good 30, 45 minutes.
Unfortunately, these issues are not a quick fix.
To see it washed away like this is just disheartening.
And repairs will take time.
I just hope they get up and fix it pretty quick, save us some gas. Gas ain't cheap.
However long that may be. In Perry County, Connor James, WYMT Mountain News.
Kentucky 267 in Perry County is closed indefinitely. Officials still need your help finding a missing man. Officials searched the North Fork of the Kentucky River for 53-year-old Danny Napier earlier this week. They believe he may have ended up in the river Saturday morning when it was high. Meanwhile, Senator Rand Paul penned a letter to President Trump requesting help. In his letter, the senator talked about the widespread flooding across eastern Kentucky and how he would like for the president to help any way possible if the damage warrants federal help. A former UK student accused of hitting and killing a 4-year-old boy had his case dismissed from district court. Jacob Heil was not in court today as the judge dismissed his DUI charge. Fayette Circuit Court is now picking up the case. Police say back in September, Heil was driving drunk when he hit and killed 4-year-old Marco Shimwell. Heil was already arraigned in Circuit Court on a reckless homicide charge. Last week, an attorney entered a not guilty plea on his behalf during that arraignment. 2 people face charges in connection with a Bell County burglary. Police arrested Logan Howard and Samantha Bays today. Investigators say they were caught on camera breaking into a home. While inside, police say they stole several items, including a gun. Both face a charge of first-degree burglary.
While the gloomy conditions continue as that rain moves its way to the east-northeast. Now, for the next couple of days, the cloud cover will be sticking around. Scattered chances will be here well, and we'll also deal with the temperature spread. All that coming up in 5 minutes.
And next, it was one of the darkest days in eastern Kentucky's history 61 years ago. And we are getting a new perspective of that tragic event in Floyd County.
When you see news happening, dial star 57 or text your news tip to 5757. Service is provided by Appalachian Wireless. Better service, bigger savings.
Catch all the high school and college action during sports overtime on Friday and Saturday nights on WYMT. Heroes and Icons and